Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim and cimnanya. And thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about a video. This woman granted, this Indian American woman granted, and they asked her if Republican is a racist party, and she said no, that America is not a racist country. But then she went, I don't know how, if that was a slip of tongue or something. And she said she experienced racism before, right? When she was growing up. But now it is way better than it used to be. But she said there was no racism, telling us that it is way a lot better than it used to be. It means you are agreeing without knowing that you are agreeing that it is a racist country. And she wants to wait for that to say that she does not want her kids to grow up to know that there is a particular color that you will be and you cannot be able to achieve some certain things. That is where she tries to gaslight black people. That she is going to teach them to know that no matter the color of your skin, that you can achieve anything you put your mind on. You know what? Let's get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, fresh off the heels of her not being able to mention slavery when asked about the Civil War, she barely survived that debacle. I introduce to you presidential hopeful for 2024, Nimrata Nikki Haley.
Are you a racist party? Are you involved in a racist party?
No. We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country. Our goal is to make sure that today is better than yesterday. Are we perfect? No. But our goal is to always make sure we try and be more perfect every day that we can. I know I faced racism when I was growing up, but I can tell you today is a lot better than it was then. Our goal is to lift up everybody, not go and divide people on race or gender or party or anything else. We've had enough of that in America. That's why I'm so passionate about doing this. I don't want my kids growing up where they're sitting there thinking that they're disadvantaged because of a color or a gender. I want them to know that if they work hard, they can do and be anything they want to be in America.
His question was, are you a racist party? Meaning, is the Republican Party racist? Nimrata comes back with, America is not a racist country. She could have said, no, I don't believe that the Republican Party is a racist party, and let it be that. No. She comes back with, America is not a racist country, when the question asked was, are you a racist party? Then she goes further to say that she had experienced racism. But 2 sentences before that, she says America is not a racist country. Then she says she doesn't want her children to be judged basically on the color of their skin. She wants them to know that they can be anything that they want to be regardless of the color of their skin. We're past that. So that indicates that at some point, people were judged by the color of their skin. This is America. Nimrata, girl, I'm done for the day.
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country.
There's an old 1930s Victorian play by a man named Patrick Hamilton where a husband drives his wife to it, truly believing that she's crazy by continuing to change the intensity of the gas lights around the house, and every time she talks about it, he's like, what are you talking about? You're imagining it. That's actually where we get the term gaslighting from. Being black in America is a lot like being Truman from The Truman Show. Have you seen the movie? Throughout the whole movie, he's pointing at all the evidence that's pretty obvious that he's a part of some social experiment And every time he says it to someone around him, how do they respond? They go, "What are you talking about, Truman? What do you mean?" This is the same conceptual sleight of hand that Nikki Haley and other white Americans have been doing, frankly, since the end of the Jim Crow era and slavery itself. What are you talking about? What racism? What do you mean? The best way to understand this is to understand this psychological study of semiotic theory. In semiotic theory, you have a sign. Then you have context around that sign. From that sign and the context, you get a meaning. And then with that meaning, you elicit a response. In this example, the sign would be the legal torture of black and brown people in America for hundreds of years. The context around that sign is that the torture was fueled by the hatred of black and brown people. That together equals slavery was racist and America was racist. But the response that Nikki Haley gives isn't in line with everything that we just talked about. So by responding that way, the way that Nikki Haley did and the way that a lot of white Americans do, they do something very particular. It's not an accident. They begin to call into question the context with which the sign was interpreted, so that when people see that response that doesn't line up, they begin to look for another context to explain that response. Some people are going to say, "Oh, she was on TV, she just was maybe rushed." And let me just say this to you from a person that's been around a lot of white people. She responded to that question with the flagrant disregard of black suffering that already existed inside of her.
Oh, Nikki.
Are you a racist party? Are you involved in a racist party?
No.
Yeah.
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country. Our goal is to make
Girl,
sure
the
that today
lies.
is better than yesterday. Are we perfect? No. But our goal is to always make sure we try and be more perfect every day that we can. I know I faced racism when I was growing up, but I can tell you today is a lot better than it was then. Our goal is to lift up everybody, not go and divide people on race or gender or party or anything else. We've had enough of that in America. That's why I'm so passionate about doing this. I don't want my kids growing up where they're sitting there thinking that they're disadvantaged because of a color or a gender.
But they
I want
are.
them to know that if they work hard, they can do and be anything they want to be in America.
Sure. And this is why I don't do a lot of Republicans of color, because they continue to lie about this issue particularly. Girl, what? The country was founded on racism. It was founded on oppressing people, whether it be the natives or whether it be the blacks. And sure, everyone wants their children to grow up and not think that because of their sex or their skin color, that they're not somehow disadvantaged, when that is not the actual truth. I got a whole black daughter in these streets. A whole black daughter. And based on the historical data that I have, based on the lived experiences of black women in my life, based on the experience that I have as a black man and things that I have seen with my own eyes, you are not going to be able to convince me that race does not come into play when we talk about advantages and disadvantages of certain people. And so here you go lying again, Nikki. Here you go lying again. America absolutely, if nothing else, was a racist country at its inception. And one can make 3,200 arguments as to why the Republican Party is also a racist party, but I won't get into all that right now.
Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley says,
We've never been a racist country.
let me take off my hat. A lot of politicians make the ridiculous argument that
America is not a racist country.
but Nikki Haley goes one step farther.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1776, 41 of the 56 men who signed the Declaration of Independence were slave owners.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1788, the U.S. Constitution counted black slaves as only 3/5 of a person.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1857, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Dred Scott and all other black people were not citizens of the United States.
We've never been a racist
In
country.
1861, Nikki Haley's own state of South Carolina declared war on the Union to defend slavery.
We've never been a racist
In 1865, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated after pushing Congress to pass the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1915, the popular racist film The Birth of a Nation portrayed the KKK as heroes trying to defend white people from black oppression.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1921, white people in Oklahoma killed dozens of black people and destroyed a thriving black community in the Tulsa Race Massacre.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1955, 14-year-old Emmett Till was lynched in Mississippi, and 42-year-old Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white man on a city bus in Alabama.
We've never been a racist racist country.
In 1961, civil rights activist John Lewis was beaten at the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma just for demanding the right to vote.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1963, 4 black girls were killed in a racist church bombing in Birmingham, Alabama.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1968, Dr. King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1976, Ronald Reagan ran for president, blaming welfare queens for white people's problems.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1986, Reagan vetoed a bill to impose sanctions on the racist apartheid government in South Africa.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1988, George Bush ran for president with a racist campaign scaring white voters about a black inmate he dubbed Willie Horton.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1989, Donald Trump called for the execution of 5 black and Latino teenagers wrongly accused of raping a white woman in New York Central Park.
We've never been a racist country.
In 1992, an all-white jury acquitted 4 white police officers for the videotaped beating of Rodney King.
We've never been a racist country.
In 2005, President Bush took days to respond to Hurricane Katrina when it struck the mostly black city of New Orleans.
We've never been a racist country.
In 2011, Donald Trump launched a 5.5-year campaign questioning Barack Obama's birth certificate.
We've never been a racist country.
In 2015, a 21-year-old white supremacist in Nikki Haley's home state of South Carolina murdered 9 black people at the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston.
We've never been a racist country.
In 2020, Donald Trump tried to throw out millions of black votes in Atlanta, Detroit, Philadelphia, and other cities.
We've never been a racist country.
And in 2024, white people in Iowa voted to return a twice-impeached, quadruple-indicted insurrectionist to public office.
We've never been a racist country.
Even in Nikki Haley's own life.
I faced racism when I was growing up.
But aside from that,
We've never been a racist country.
So Nikki Haley puts her foot in her mouth today, goes on Fox News and says America has never been a racist country. This is coming from a woman whose natural born name was Nimrata. And she's going by fucking Nikki. Okay? And it's, every time I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, see things differently, I pride myself on being even, hearing everyone out. These politicians always remind me who they are. And then to have my former governor, I'm from Maryland, 2-term governor, Larry Hogan, then go on CNN and double down and agree and say, yes, America has never been a racist country, even when Wolf Blitzer brought up segregation, the civil rights movement. It's not even that I don't want to hear different perspectives, but you're trying to rewrite history. And it's the dismissive energy that gets in my crawl. We can move forward. Because, she said the country is better now than it was then when it comes to that. And I'll agree. We still got a lot of shit to work on. But it's like, now, Nimrata, now I'm hoping you lose. Now, it's given, girl. Go ahead on home, girl. You already came in 3rd place in the Iowa caucuses, niece. Pack it up.
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country.
This shows exactly why she can't be the president of the United States. You just gotta stop lying at this point. I get it. You're trying to save face in front of white conservatives, but you can't continue to lie about present day or the history of this country. And by the way, your first name is not Nikki. You completely changed your first name, your ethnic Indian name, to appeal to white conservatives. Why? Because of racism. We gotta do better. I'm so tired of this.
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist.
I'll allow it if you tell me one thing. If that's true, why not just go by your real name?
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country.
During the Iowa caucus, one voter said that they don't like Vivek Ramaswamy's name and they don't like where he comes from, and after 9/11 they still harbor a lot of those feelings. So I think even if you're someone like Vivek and you align yourself with the racist party and you continue to try to push racist policies and you blame immigrants and black people for a lot of the country's problems, the people that you are pandering to will still turn against you just because you look funny and your name makes them think of 9/11. You can change your name, like Nikki did, from Nimrata to Nikki Haley, but this racist country you live in will still turn against you.
Y'all come look at this just real fast.
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country.
If the U.S. isn't a racist country, as you say, why are you cosplaying a white woman? Nimrata, please tell us why little Nimrata doesn't believe in going by her given birth name. Because to explain that, you would then have to explain why it is that you so choose to use a name that is more palatable to the tongue. A name that, say, looks a little bit more passing on paper. Some of y'all think that racism is just hanging someone up on a tree. Oh wait, the U.S. did that. Okay. Some of y'all think that racism means that you don't count someone as a whole person, but maybe 3/5 of a person? Oh, wait, the U.S. did that again. Okay, I think I got it. Some of y'all think that racism is just simply spreading disease, raping, pillaging, and unaliving innocent people as you take over their land. Wait, that's the U.S. again. So in addition to the aforementioned that are proven forms of racism that has existed and still exists in the United States of America, whitewashing yourself is also a form of self-hate, which is also a form of racism.
If you don't mind, I still a moment or two of your time, I'd like to show you something. Because if I had to see it, so do you.
Are you involved in a racist party?
No, we're...
Anyone else see that long ass pause? That let me know right there that anything that was getting ready to follow was some straight BS. And you know damn well you didn't believe anything that was coming out your mouth. But let's go ahead and keep rolling.
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country.
Quick question. To say that we've never been a racist country, is that the same as saying that racism doesn't exist? Asking for a friend.
Our goal is to make sure that today is better than yesterday. Are we perfect? No. But our goal is to always make sure we try and be more perfect every day that we can. I know I faced racism when I was growing up, but I can tell you today is a lot better than it was then.
We're not a racist country, yet you faced it growing up. And speaking of growing up, Nikki, ain't you from South Carolina? Make it make sense. And not only that, is this you?
The railroad tracks divided the town by race. I was the proud daughter of Indian immigrants. Not black, not white. I was different.
Divided by what? It's almost as if you're referring to, what is it? I'm just going to make up a word off the top of my head and maybe it'll stick. Segregation. And ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly why it's important to know where your votes are going and who you're voting for. This is Nikki Haley and she's running for president. Until next time, I ask that you take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Remember, it's impossible to be unarmed when a weapon fears my skin. And as always, I'm sending peace to you.
So this is all I got from the speeches, and the fact that this woman has really been running around since she made that statement of, where they asked her about slavery, and she refused to answer it. And till this very moment, I don't know why she's granting some stupid interview. Like she said that they are not, okay, they asked her about the party. Instead of talking about the party, she decided to say America is not a right to the seas country, but she experienced right to the season when she was small. But it is a lot more better than it used to be. But she refused to acknowledge that it is. But then I think her heart and her tongue gave her, and her mouth gave her away. Number one is that why is she not even answering her Nikki Ramata or what her name is? Why is she answering Nikki Haley? Now let me tell us this. The reality is that some people are sellouts. I mean, seeing an Indian American woman saying that America is not a racist country is just something that I am trying to wrap my head around, because it's kind of really like, crazy to hear something like this from people like this, right? And the fact that they keep trying to let black people know that, you all are making this shit up, like it is not existing, because all this they are doing is trying to make a point to black people, because you all talk about racism a lot and trying to tell you all, it's all fiction. It's not happening. Probably it happened in the back, but it is no longer happening to this very moment. But as the day passes by, we see worse than before, and we see worse things happening, right? Why is it hard for them to acknowledge that it is still happening? But it is a work in progress. We are working so hard to see how we can eradicate or stop something like this from affecting people. She went further to say that she is teaching her children to know that no matter the color of your skin, that you can achieve it. Then that also made it known that she knew that there are some people who did not achieve some certain things or do not reach a particular goal because of their skin color. Does that make sense? So all this running around and trying to, finesse everything going on, making it look like people are making things up. All these are not true. I don't know why they keep doing that, because they are making it look like black people talking about how they are being affected by race or from racism and all that. It's all lie, when that is the reality. If she is running for, I see how she is running to be the president of America with all this going around her. She is not even ready, because when you are ready to do something different, you are going to act you are going to do you are going to speak the truth. You don't have to sugarcoat some certain things to feed Republicans and all that. But you are all trying to save your party more than saying the truth. You are trying to save yourself. All these people, one thing I noticed about them is that they just want to be, attached to white people, or to be looked as a white person, or to be called a white person, right? But man, the whole thing is just a mess. That's all I got to say. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.